Tuesday, October 8th, 9:43 p.m. at night. I just walked a handful of blocks from the 7 line to come back to this office and record this instant reaction. The Mets won Game 3 of the National League Division Series in convincing fashion. And if you can tell by that, just listen to my voice. It's very hoarse, and it'll probably be worse tomorrow if I had to guess. What a dream playoff win. What a dream first home game in 2 weeks for this team. I was privileged enough to be in the crowd tonight, and one, Mets fans did not disappoint. They had been hungry for a team to cheer for. This was so different than the environment 2 years ago. A dejected fan base that had just gotten their teeth kicked in by Atlanta. Didn't feel like they had anything to cheer for. This team came in with every reason to get this crowd energetic, and you could feel it from the moment you walked into the stadium. Outside the stadium, before we even get into the game, I just want to set the scene. They had a block party outside Citi Field. John Franco and Matt Harvey are with the Queen's crew hyping up the crowd. Everyone is going to food trucks and mingling. So many people said what's up. I'm so grateful to have that experience, to have so many people that wanted to say hello and chat with me about the team. So even before the game got started, it was already just a fantastic experience. And then the game got going. And very quickly you could tell that this was Sean Manaea's night. It's really awesome to see a guy who has struggled so much in the playoffs in his career, between 2020 with the A's and 2 years ago with the Padres, against this pretty much the same Phillies lineup. Sean Manaea had a ton of baggage going into the start. An ERA, I think, above 11 in the playoffs in his career. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 5 base runners. An ace-level performance on a massive stage in the most important game of the season. And this guy delivered. After a couple of rocky starts against the Brewers, one at the end of the regular season, one in the playoffs, there was a hum in the air. You weren't exactly sure what you were going to get, and Sean Manaea delivered. Pete Alonso goes the opposite way to get the crowd fired up in the second inning, an absolute bomb that disappeared into the second deck. I went ballistic in the 500s, and Jesse Winker adds his own signature moment. He goes upper tank to right field, pimps the hell out of it off Aaron Nola. This was a Mets team that had gotten shut out by Aaron Nola, complete game, and had hit him pretty well in a September start. I think it was 4 1/3, 6 earned runs. And I wasn't sure what we were going to get, because playoff Nola has been a thing. He has good numbers in the playoffs. He's shown up before for big games. They got to him. 4 earned runs in 5 innings. That's a really good effort by the Mets offense. And how different this game might have been. Let's set the stage in the bottom of the 6th inning. Vientos single. Nimmo works a gutty walk. Alonso doesn't really get a pitch to hit. He walks 2. Bases loaded. Nobody out in the 6th inning. Topper wisely goes to his bullpen. He goes to Orion Kerkering. A 3rd straight game. Kerkering gets Iglesias to ground out. It was a bobble by Sosa, and then he guns it home. He still gets the out, deflating for the crowd for sure. Winker flies out to left. In the moment, I thought they could have sent Vientos, but Vientos is not fleet of foot. They hold him. You're 1 out away from squandering a bases-loaded no-out opportunity with a good Phillies lineup coming up in the 7th inning against a Sean Manaea who's been in the game for 6 innings. You need a big hit. You need to let them know you're not going to let this opportunity get away from you, because who knows what happens. The Phillies could regain momentum. They can get a couple base runners on, knock Sean out of the game. The Mets have to go to their unreliable bullpen earlier than they want to. Starling Marte with the hit of the season for him and maybe for this team. A 2-run line drive single to center field. Both runs come home. The Mets double their lead. Alonso's out at home. That's okay. Or, excuse me, that was a later play. My bad. Taylor grounds out after that. That 2-run single was big. It gave the Mets insurance. It repossessed the momentum of the game, and it enabled Sean to go out there for the 7th, and even if he ran into trouble, which he didn't, finish the inning. Sean responds by giving them a 1-2-3, striking out Austin Hayes, popping off on the mound, getting the crowd fired up. Beautiful work. 7th inning rolls around. Mets instantly get 2 outs. Alvarez strikes out. Lindor pops out with Alvarado on the mound. Alvarado lets up the single to Vientos. Nimmo walks. Alonso walks. That's what Alvarado does. If you are patient with him, he will put you on base. Iglesias puts a nail in the coffin. Another 2-run single. 6-0 Mets lead. Here's what I'll say about this experience as a fan. 1, I went ballistic the whole time. I'm going to miss some of the nuances of the game in this instant reaction because this is just raw. Like, I was there. Like, I didn't see any missed calls. I didn't see the sequencing, all that. This is just events as I recount them. This bullpen is not safe. I wanted Sean Manaea to throw a complete game tonight. I knew that was not in the cards, but I wanted that so bad. Because even with the 6-run lead, none of this felt safe. The Phillies get an Edmundo Sosa single. Schwarber walks. It's 2-on, 2-out for Bryce Harper. By now, Maton is in the game. Harper singles. Stanek comes in. Castellanos singles. It's 6-2. Bohm is up as the tying run in the 8th inning. Scary, scary stuff. They get the line out. A scary line out, but a line out nonetheless. The circle of trust right now is tiny, but it does include Ryan Stanek. And he was up to the bill tonight. The Mets tack on with Lindor's double in the 9th inning. That made my DraftKings parlay hit. Shout out DraftKings. Stanek comes on, goes 1-2-3 in the 9th inning, and secures the first Mets playoff win in the NLDS at Citi Field in 9 years. And I was there for it. I hope you were too. But if you weren't, I hope you were watching on TV and soaking in every moment of that crowd. And if you listen to the last Shea Station pod or the last instant reaction, you know that this win is massive. Why? Why is it massive? Well, there's yet to be an announcement, or there has been and I missed it. But the Phillies are in a conundrum now. They have a fully rested Ranger Suarez, who let's very quickly pull up some numbers on Ranger Suarez, who finished the year with a solid showing, a 3.46 ERA and 150 innings. But, since he returned from injury on July 6th, 47 2/3 innings in 10 outings, 32 earned runs, that's a 6.04 ERA. Not good. If you're Rob Thompson, is that the guy you're giving the ball to with your season on the line? My answer personally is no. I'm giving the ball to Zach Wheeler on short rest with a tighter pitch count. But even if you do that, one of the best things that happened in this game was the Mets hit Carlos Estevez too. So they've now hit Kerkering, they've now hit Strahm, they've now hit Hoffman, and they scored a run off Estevez too. That's your 4 guys, Philly. Who's to say you can trust any of them? The Mets are in the driver's seat. They have Jose Quintana going tomorrow. 6 shutout innings in a do-or-die Game 3 in the wildcard series against the Brewers was Jose Quintana. That's who you got on the bump. Don't let this series get back to Philly. Thompson could play his cards, put out Suarez there, who's been a playoff performer, try and win Game 4, and then regain momentum in the series going into Game 5 with Zach Wheeler. Or he could push the button, try and give his team the best possible chance to get back to Philly with no plan for Game 5. I'm really curious to see what they announce going into tomorrow's game. But here's what I do know. There's going to be a very happy Shea Station podcast tomorrow. There's going to be a live stream on Shea Station tomorrow for the Mets game. And when they win and when they clinch, I'm going to be screaming like a fanatic. And I'm going to be over the moon. And I hope you are too. This run has been unbelievable. The Mets, who 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago, came to Citi Field on Sunday Night Baseball, beat the Phillies 2-1, an emphatic 6-out save from Edwin Diaz. We weren't sure if we were going to see them play in their home ballpark again this season. They made it back, and they had their most dominant win. Dominant win. No back and forth. No seesaw affair. No theatrics. Pure dominance. Their most dominant win in weeks. They made a statement tonight against Philly. That Game 2 loss will not rattle us. We were lucky enough to have the chance to go up 2-0. We're going to come home and we're going to take care of business. That's exactly what they did. Kyle Schwarber, hitless. Harper, Castellanos, Bohm, Real Muto, they combined to go 3 for 15. They handled the Phillies lineup tonight, and their backs are against the wall. Finish the job. The job ends here. Let's clinch on our turf. Let's get it done. Let's go to the NLCS, and who knows what we'll do from there. So excited to give some more expanded, nuanced thoughts tomorrow, but I'm a little buzzed. I'm a little happy. I'm very happy. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm having trouble grasping all of this, having trouble believing that it's all real, but it is. So soak it in, because who knows when it's over? Who knows when it's truly begun, right? This could just be a footnote in the story, but enjoy it. The Mets are up 2-1 in the National League Division Series. They're 1 away from advancing to the NLCS. They're 8 wins away from a World Series. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon. Subscribe to the Shea Station channel if you enjoyed the content. Tune in tomorrow morning for a podcast. Tune in tomorrow night for a stream. Enjoy it. That's all I got to say. LFGM.